Hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to the latest installment of Bree's Bestiary. I actually chose today's topic based on a conversation I was having with Dr. Ben, family Dr. Ben, one of my good friends. If you're not subscribed to Dr. Ben, definitely go check it out. But we were talking about tequila and mezcal. So what is it? What is mezcal, and what is the worm? Was the topic of conversation. So we talked about insect larvae, and I mean, it's like this would be a good episode for Bree's Bestiary. Bree does hate sleeping at night. I'm nocturnal. All right, so I decided to go over it briefly so that everybody kind of gets on the same page about what it is. So I found a good little video on it from a channel called Flaviar, just the history of the tequila worm. We're gonna watch that real quick here. So it's only a minute and a half long, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Saying the early bird gets the worm in the tequila? No? Me neither, but that's okay, because it's a lie anyways. Here's a brief history of that worm in the bottle. See, mezcal gets confused for tequila a lot, but while mezcal can be made from 250 different types of agave, tequila has to be at least 51% blue agave. All tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila, and only
Nested cladistics of alcohol?
mezcal has worms, and even that is technically false. It's actually not a worm, but a moth larva that lives in the agave plant. And this little Michelin Man insect is called Gusano de Maguey, but we insist it should be pronounced Magui. There are some theories of why it's in that mezcal
Maguey. That's the proper way to say it.
bottle. One says the larva brings luck, the other says that if the bug is preserved, it's a sign that there's good stuff in the bottle. And then there is the truth. Tequila was everywhere back in the day, so the makers of mezcal had to come up with a trick to stand out. So, in the 1940s, the cunning distiller Jacobo Lozano Peza channeled his inner Don Draper and claimed that Magui changes the flavor of mezcal. Is that true? Not really. But you know, everyone notices the crazy guy drinking from a bottle with a worm. Sorry, a larva. The first rule of Mad Men: gimmicks sell. And no, the worm doesn't have any hallucinogenic effects. You'll still need some
You get some absinthe for that, for the hallucinogenic effect, right?
magic mushrooms for that. So, please don't eat the larva, just enjoy the mezcal. Salud!
Yeah. And mezcal worms are not like unique to the palate, right? It's not something that's specific to just making mezcal or tequila. The maguey worm has a rich legacy of filling Aztec cuisine and making savory taco filling. These are culinary insects. Again, you know, I'm always beating this drum and you guys are cringing, but let me make the case for it here. You can tell me what you think. I'm just going to read this little section. Yeah, it's just not very long. The Magui worm, I'm going to use that term because that's how white people say it, is not actually a worm, but a caterpillar. And if you know your tequila, you know that the agave plant, a maguey, yeah, it says maguey right there. It tells you how to pronounce it, maguey. So I'm going to say it that way now. Where these caterpillars make their home. Both white and red maguey worms are among the most prestigious insects consumed in Mexico, and were once a vital source of protein for the Aztecs. Today, they make crisp fried snacks and succulent taco filling. The red and white worms are actually two different species that both begin their lives as larvae on the agave plant. If left to mature, the white worms would become a tequila giant skipper butterfly, while the red variety would grow into Comadia redtecbacheri. moths. But the larva's journey is cut short by harvesters who roam the countryside in Mexico's central states, scouring for signs of the worm's presence on the plants. They then sell their larva loot at the local market, where strings of dried maguey worms are hung like necklaces from the stalls overhead from baskets. Some worms even make their way into restaurants in Mexico City, where high-end interpretations of the humble dish can go for as much as $30 a plate. Chefs make the most of the maguey nutty taste, sometimes comparing it to fried pork cracklings, using them to add flavor to mole, texture to rice soup, and a savory pop to tacos served in warm tortillas with guacamole. For those who might not be ready to consume a critter whole, a smoky powder made from the ground up worms, salt, and red chilies serves as seasonings, and a favorite pairing with slice of lime and mezcal. Wondering about the worms at the bottom of your tequila? That's usually a red maguey worm, which found its way into the bottle in the mid 20th century as a marketing ploy for selling mediocre booze. Yeah, so would you eat these worms? Would you eat the? Would you go to a Mexican restaurant and order the maguey worm taco? Would you give it a try? Would you use the seasoning on your food? What do you think? I don't know. I definitely would. I think that again, as I beat this drum over and over again, I think that there is a lot to be said and a lot to be had when it comes to insect protein. When it comes to this species being able to be readily harvested and served. Yeah, I'm here for it. Let me know what you have to say about it, though, in the comments down below. This has been a Breeze Bestiary. Thank you for sticking with me. Please remember to be kind. Take care, and we'll see you next time.